Hi everybody, it's Corey. Here I am. Hi everyone, it's Corey with Reset Girl, and it is the Late Night Crafty Club. And I was sitting here trying to gather all of the little bits and pieces for tonight's show, and I again have no elegant way of coming in here and going hello. So I'm so glad to see all your little faces in the chat room. I can see all of you. Well, I can sort of see all of you. One of the problems that's making us a little late this evening is I realize my glasses, I can't really see everybody as well as I was. So somehow my vision has gotten depleted. So I can kind of see Judy and Brenda and Shauna and Jennifer and Lorraine and Miss Nanny Scrappy, and hi Damaris, and hi Amy, and hi Miss Claudine. Hi Corey and Lynn and Marsha and Michelle, and I saw Missy Brown earlier. I am so happy you guys are here. Welcome, 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 welcome. Hi Miss Ricky Carter and Jean and Patty and Pearl. Again, I feel like we got to have that mirror. I need to have that mirror so I can greet everyone in that romper room, old school style. Mr. Crafty just brought me a phone so I can better see the names up close. I think it's time to get my little eyes checked again. Okay, so I am so glad you're here, and thank you. These are new PJs. I just got them at Christmas time for the show, because believe it or not, even though I'm a woman who probably owns maybe a dozen pair of pajamas, they are all back in Washington. Apparently, I made a decision somewhere along the line when we were packing up the RV that either I would have them shipped out to me or I wouldn't need them. I guess I figured I'll be in Florida in December. Who needs flannel jammies in Florida? So, and all the Florida girls said, amen. But apparently that was not a good idea, because all of our Florida plans fell through and we did not go. And where I am right now, I think it's about 20 degrees, 25-ish degrees. It was very, very cold. We had to keep the little heater in here going today so that I wouldn't be a little Corey-sickle today. So I know some of you live in far colder climates. You guys might be shoveling some snow. And I have to say, I'm super jealous. I wish that was the case. I kind of thought that there would be more snow in this part of the country at this time of the year. And it was just like Washington. I got to have one afternoon where it snowed for maybe an hour. And then that was it. Just like Washington. Only this year, Washington betrayed me and has snowed quite often from what I hear. I've seen multiple pictures of my family and people still back in Washington that are enjoying snow. So, boo. We are not in Pigeon Forge any longer. We left 2 days ago, and we are now in the Nashville area. So I went back to Nashville, and we're going to be staying here for the month of January because I am hosting a fabulous one-day retreat with my friend Tracy Claiborne that is now sold out. We are so happy to discover it was sold out yesterday. So I'm doing a faith retreat. So I'm going to be hanging out here working on the podcast that is debuting in just a few days. January 3rd, as a matter of fact, is when the First Love Club podcast debuts. So I have my little script that I made myself, my little outline of tonight's show, because I'm uber professional, but I will end up detouring right off. You guys just watch. So if this is your first time joining us, and if it is, welcome, 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 welcome. I am so glad that you're here. This is a show where we suit up in our jammies, we grab something delicious to sip, and you can either choose to craft along with me, doing your own craft, doing the craft that I'm going to do tonight, or you can just watch. We have a chat room, which is going like crazy right now, which is actually the best part of the live show is the chat room, because that gives you an opportunity to talk to all kinds of people that are in the Reset community. And there are people from all over the country all over the world that show up in our chat room, which was so fabulous. I love seeing our international friends pop up. And some of our international friends are you know, up at 2 a.m., 6 a.m. They're up at all crazy hours because they want to be part of the live show. So I truly appreciate that.
Keep going.
Okay, sometimes when you come in here, I think that it's because I'm doing something wrong.
Nope.
Or something is broken. So I did see Michelle's comment about there's an ice storm. So, and you're up in Bellingham, which is even more cold in Washington than where I lived, where it just was so not snowy at all. So those of you who are enjoying snow, I am super jealous. I'm glad for you. Boo for me. So I am really happy for those of you who are joining us for the first time. I hope that this is fun and not a disappointment. So if you are watching the recorded version of the show, like you happened to stumble upon or remembered that I had the show going, and you're catching me on Monday or Tuesday or 2 weeks from now, welcome to the Late Night Crafty Club. You will see me talking, kind of like looking off to the side often, and I will try really hard to remember to repeat the comments and questions so that it doesn't look like I'm just talking to nobody. Because I noticed that I have a tendency of doing that, is forgetting to repeat back what I'm actually going to respond to. So for you guys catching it after, it can be kind of an awkward show. It's not the same thing as just me doing my regular videos. But I encourage you to catch a live one if you can. I am doing this show on a Saturday night, which is atypical of me. I tend to do them on Friday nights. But because of our moving from one area of the state to another, and we were not very sure about our connection here, I wanted to give us as much time as possible to kind of adjust for that. So I can't promise that the Late Night Crafty Club is always going to be on a Friday night going forward. I'm not even sure if I can do 2 shows a month. It might have to be 1 show a month. We're sort of readjusting and kind of calibrating our business right now, because there are so many things that my heart just yearns to do so badly for this community. There's so many things that I want to create for you and really create a meaningful impact in your life. And unfortunately, the last 2 years, I've tried many different ways to try to make that happen, having the shop the way it's been, and then try to do that, and it's never happened. So I think that I'm kind of in a place where I'm having to make hard decisions now, and so we've slowly been kind of changing over the last 6 months our business model, and it's going to change even further. But I have to assure you, it's for the better. It's for the best, because if I have been this successful in growing a community...
I'm going to try something real quick. We're going to get rid of the echo.
Okay.
So there was a bit of an echo. Don't say anything important. Let's just see if a little bit of echo went away.
Don't say anything important. That's impossible. Oh, and I noticed in the Happy Place Club, somebody posted this. So Ray Dunn, who's kind of a beloved artisan, she has made some really cute mugs that a lot of us are finding at TJ Maxx, and Home Goods sells them. Well, she came out with a new line, and this one is a little dish, and it says stay, and it's got washi in it. So of course I had to have it. As minimal as I've tried to be this year, I had to have it. So the reason why I bought it is for this. I'm putting my wedding ring in it, my sacred little dish, and putting it off here to the side behind me.
I can still hear you. I'm just trying to get rid of the echo.
Okay, so I can see that I am getting some, there's like feedback that it's echoey or
it's
blurry.
Just a little bit.
So as you can see, my tech support is here. He's on the case. So you'll also notice behind me, Mr. Crafty has styled my shelf here behind me again. And I have my little mouse. probably the first year that I had my Instagram account, I posted a picture of him. So, and I just thought I would bring it up because for some of you, this will be kind of funny, and some of you will be rolling your eyes, understandably. So this little scrawny little skinny mouse, he's knitted, was a gift my father. He gave this to me for my 9th birthday, and I wanted this mouse so bad. He took me on a trip to his office one day, and this lady had this mouse on her desk, and I played with it every time he would take me to the office and let me visit. I would go sit at her desk, after hours, of course, and play with her mouse. So it was my 9th birthday present. I remember it so clearly, him, you know, kind of holding it up. He had it hidden in his bag and gave it to me on my birthday. And this mouse, I call him my veteran now. He's retired, but he was my protector. He was I wrote short stories about him. He was like my bestie. I took him out, being an introverted kid, I didn't have friends, so he was like my buddy. So he has spent a lot of his adult years in a bin in storage, and the last, I don't know, few years, I have been keeping him on my living room couch, styling him, making him like a pillow, like he's just part of the decor. And when we made the decision to do the RV thing, I brought him with. In a bin in storage and stuffing, and he's not real. But I think for some of us, I don't know, some of us who are more sensitive types and just more like more attached emotionally to things, I think there's ladies out there who can, wow, there's so many people who says that they can't even hear me.
Yeah, they can hear you now, though.
Okay.
It was just from the last time I stepped out.
Okay. All right, so let me backtrack the last few sentences that I said. I'm just looking for validation. I know that there's quite a few of you that would understand, because you also have emotional attachments to things. And it's not everything, obviously, in my life, but he just means a lot to me because I was a kid who was terrified of the dark. I had terrible nightmares as a child. And he was just, you know, when kids were mean to me at school, he was always on my bed, and I would always come home and cry into him.
They might be able to see us now. Is it back? Okay, you're back. Yeah, the echo, I'm not sure what that's from. I tested everything earlier and everything was working. Okay. I'm sorry, baby. I don't know why this thing's being finicky. But they can hear you.
Isn't technology super fun, you guys? When I first started doing this, I remember just like the idea of doing a live show was absolutely terrifying. And last year when I did the vision board party, I actually filmed the entire thing on my own in my room, and then I aired it during a late night Crafty Club, and then I was in the chat room with you guys. How many of you guys remember that? So now we're doing this whole live thing where the whole show is live, and it completely changes all the dynamics. And when we are sitting here in an RV, despite all the hours we put into, like, you know, Mark's putting into getting everything set up, it's inevitable. And I kind of feel like I just have to just go with the flow. There's like no way I can there's no point in getting upset or annoyed. It's just like, you know what, I'll just get back to what I was doing when we get past the issue. So as long as you guys are patient, and you know, I know it's no fun to have to sit there and wonder, where did we go? What did we do? Is the show canceled? I appreciate that y'all are hanging in there, and I know. So it's like, anyway, I'm trying not to look at the comments, and I'll just continue moving forward. So know this, that my intention is always, is to aim for as close to perfection as possible. Like, I always want to give you guys 100%. I always want to give you guys the best of what we have. And the last show got canceled because I could not fight through the migraine that I had, and having all the lights on, clearly those of us who struggle with migraines know that that's like, no. So I am just really grateful. Hi, Miss Brenda. Thank you so much. And hi, Miss Tracy. I appreciate that many of you guys are just completely, you're all about having the show must go on. So I appreciate that very much, you guys. Imagine, you guys, like, imagine trying to like broadcast a YouTube show from your life, like you just have to, you set everything up. So we have to take everything down and then build it back to the show and then take it down again. So as much as I would love for it to be perfect and awesome for you guys, I know it just isn't going to be that way as long as we're on the road, for sure. That's just unpredictable. But one thing we do, which I find kind of funny, is we have like 4 phones. We've got 4 different cell services. So we've got AT&T, Sprint. And what we'll do when we are picking out a new RV park is we'll go drive around with our phones, and we will go sit there and test out the park to decide what spot we can be in, which park we can be in, based on how good the upload speed is, because we knew we were doing a late night crafty. So we are actually in this RV spot just for tonight because it was the best spot we could find for upload speed. And then tomorrow we're going to move to another part of the park where the coverage is terrible, but it won't matter then. So it's just kind of funny. So just know that we endeavor to give you guys the best experience, and sometimes we're able to do that and sometimes not. So if you're watching the recorded version, you will not see any of this. So yay. So updates was, I've gotten through that. My podcast with Miss Tracy Claiborne, who is one of my moderators in the chat room. She and I are going to be debuting the First Love Club on January 3rd. If you are in my Faithful Girl community, or you're a Faithful Girl, this is definitely a podcast that I would love for you to try out, tune into. It's going to be loosely based around the Faithful Life Challenge that we do every month, and I've just kind of picked out one scripture for each week that I have the podcast going. It's a weekly podcast, so it airs, I think, Tracy, we agreed, it airs on Wednesdays. And I just really wanted to hone in on some scriptures that I think sometimes, and I am no theologian and I'm not a Bible teacher, but there are some scriptures that I feel like they just resonate so deeply with me. And I want to just really remind people and remind myself as well. It's not just I'm telling you. It's reminding ourselves how deeply we are loved. Like, the concept of how deeply we are loved by God, I think, is something that maybe we miss a lot, or don't think about, or don't really don't sit with that very often. And sometimes God shows us so tenderly, so sweetly, how much He loves us. And if we're not paying attention or noticing the signs, sometimes it goes right over your head. And I just wanted us to just take a moment to kind of like shine a little flashlight on that. And not just that He loves us, but how, when you think about it, and I was reading a book and this sentence just popped off the page to me, was that, Jesus should be the love of your life. And that's an incredible thing to think, because most of us would say, who's the love of your life? We would name our husband. You think about your children. And really, as Christians, that's our calling. Like, our greatest calling is to love God, because how much He loves us. And I was just, it's how we're supposed to love one another. So putting that love first in our lives should, in effect, help us create a wonderful life, because we have things in a proper order. So these are meant to be more bite-sized messages. I know I can be very verbose. I will be the first to admit that. My intention is not for it to be that way. I want to try to really just be very, hone in on that and see what happens, because I feel like it is a calling, like it is meant to be. So I am not sure where it's leading, and I'm just going to be super obedient, because that's the kind of girl I am. Is I'm obedient girl. Whatever God has called me to, I have prayed and walked right into it. And sometimes it has, well, obviously here I am. Obviously here I am. Everything that I've done here as the Reset Girl is very much about following that path. So that is what I wanted to share with you, and that is debuting January 3rd. I just updated the Reset Girl, the event calendar on the website. So I now have added my newest event in March, the Faithful Girl Glampin' event, which is going to be in early March at the Lone Star Glamp Inn. So I remember showing you guys pictures of this amazing place in Texas where you sleep in little vintage trailers. This time we get to sleep in teepees and vintage trailers. We get the entire space. If you missed that event last time, I did a Craft Your Vision class is what I did there. This is going to be a weekend long event. So it's Friday, Saturday night, and it's going to be amazing. This is kind of a dream come true for me. I have always wanted to do a weekend retreat, and so that is what we're going to be doing in March. And I have that posted in the Happy Place Club. I have it posted on my Instagram, and I wanted to show you guys real quick. Let me see here. Okay, I'm going to show you guys real quick the website. So the Reset Girl website has taken yet another little facelift, because one of the things that we have recently done is combine our create a physical store with a print and snip shop and our online workshops and the Honey Girl Sticker Co. So it's kind of become a little more convoluted. And so we freshened up the very top of the website, and this navigation up here is all new. So you guys can find, this is my calendar where everything that's happening this month will be on this calendar. And all you have to do is click calendar, and then I have a current event calendar button here. And then you can see, like here's tonight, here's the vision board party, here's where the challenge prompts launched, here's the First Love podcast, here's my weekly reset newsletter going out. So I put all of the events that are happening at the Reset Girl, whether it's the store or a workshop or anything, is on this calendar. So now you can find it by hitting that calendar button. Another thing here is the Happy Place Club, the Faithful Life Club, and the Late Night Crafty Club all are listed out here. Each of them is their own separate page, and you can sign up for the challenge there. Here is another place to sign up for challenges. This is what you can sign up for. And then here's all 4 of my newsletters that you can sign up for. And then my YouTube, the podcast, and the blog. So online and in-person workshops are here, and then there's the shop. So we created what is called the marketplace, and I wanted to explain this really quick because I know quite a few people were very confused about the store. So because we have all these different types of stores and things, I was trying to create the experience of like walking into a mall. So you can go into our digital store. This is our new boutique, which is the new Reset Girl shop. This is the much more slimmed down version. And then we have the Honey Girl Sticker Co., which is where you can buy my individual sheets as well as her own. This is my daughter's store, and she has her own little sticker collections in here. And then here's the in-person workshops that I have available, and then the online workshops. And then this is the Reset Life membership, which is going to be debuting shortly. So when you guys want to come shopping, you can choose to, this is our physical store or the print and snip shop. What happens when you go to the resetgirl.com, I just want to show this to you really quick. We just put the things that are like happening, like right here, all of our new releases. This is our new collection that we just put out yesterday, the Word for the Year collection. These are all individual sheets that I'm going to show you how I'm going to use tonight. And anything we have that's new will be here in this new releases category. And right here is all the information of what we release. what part of the month we release on the 1st and the 17th, what we'll be releasing. Here's our new collection. Here's the new Productive Girl collection. And then here's how you can get into the marketplace and see all of our stores. And then you'll notice down here is the way that the website was set up before. So here's another way of getting into things. This is probably all going to go away. We're going to actually have the website built all professional like. So it will be more, it'll be much more user friendly. But as you guys know, big projects often have to be like broken down into little chunks. And oftentimes big website changes like that involve weeks, if not months of work. So we just wanted to find a quick way of making our website easier to navigate now that we've brought everything together. Before, you guys were actually going to separate websites and you just didn't realize it. The Reset Girl shop was a separate website. Now those things have been brought into the fold along with our digital store. So it just takes a little bit to figure out, okay, so you guys aren't finding things this way, we have to switch it and make it easier to find. So I noticed Anna mentioned earlier in the chat room she was looking for washi rings. We have the washi rings. It took quite a while to get them back in stock, I have to tell you. They will be going back into the store hopefully by this week coming up. And I am so glad, Miss Nurse in New Jersey, I'm glad that you're here, and I'm so sorry that you're going through that. And my father died earlier this year of cancer, so I totally understand how difficult that is, you know, because you are trying to be hopeful and pray and all of that, but it is hard. So a lot of people, you are in good company. A lot of people discover the planner community and my specific community because they are going through something, and I absolutely welcome that because I totally understand, and all of us do, how difficult it is to keep your little chin up above water, to you have to continue on with your life, and this can become a little escape place to just be around people who are lovely and encouraging, and this community is my absolute favorite for that. And Miss Diana Jones, I noticed that you are signing off because you just can't stay up any longer, and good night, girl, get good sleep. So one of the things about the website and signing up for newsletters is that there are benefits to doing so. If you signed up for the Late Night Crafty Club newsletter, you would have gotten a newsletter from me, an email from me the other night, where I sent you the directions for tonight's vision board planner prep. You can do it on a board or in your planner, either way. And I also gave you some sheets from my own stuff that I put together last year that I really loved, and I just put together a few sheets of that and also included that with it because I wanted to give you a little piece of what I had done last year and did in my video, the vision board party from 2017. I'm going to link that below, so you guys, if you want to come back and if you're watching this as a replay, you'll see in the description below that there's a link to my previous vision board party video if you had not previously watched it. And if you haven't, I highly recommend that you go back and watch it because of this. Because I used to do my videos different, I didn't have a chat room. I was just kind of like by myself in my room talking. But I don't know how many of you guys watched it. I actually watched a good portion of it today. And it was almost like I was watching somebody else. I mean, I know it was me, but it was watching somebody else coach you and talk about why, with all sincerity, why you should have a vision board and how powerful they can be. And Miss Nurse in New Jersey, this would be a wonderful thing for you to craft about right now, is to have something visual to look at. It's positive, that gets you in a different place. For those of us who are facing some big goals this year, and let's face it, girls, most of us always kind of have fitness at the top of our list for goals, and not necessarily fitness because we want to lose weight. Sometimes fitness comes because we just want to be healthy. And the older I get, the more I realize why it is so important to be healthy. You can live a long time, but the latter part of your years can be quite miserable. You could be on all kinds of medications and need surgeries and not be in good health, not be able to enjoy your life. And I've been doing a lot of thinking about this year. And so I've already made some drastic changes to my diet, which have been hard to live with, I'm not going to lie, but it's also kind of primed me for like, why am I not just going for it and then just sealing the deal, going all the way to the other side and including the exercise and all that stuff in it. And I don't have my vision board that I made in here. And I'm going to actually, the one I'm making tonight, it's going up somewhere. I was actually thinking of attaching it to my window shade because it's really flexible paper. And I was thinking maybe it'll just roll up into my window shade and I could just pull it down and look at it every now and then. So I'm really excited about the vision board, okay? And I can't remember the year I first made one, but I know that from the time I was in high school, and I was just talking to Miss Angela, my good friend from Florida, about it the other night. I used to cover my wall with like quotes and positive, like, you know, like affirmations, but just positive quotes and pictures I tore out of magazines, things that I wanted to visually motivate me. And that's what vision boards are really meant to do. It's supposed to help you like hone in on what your perfect life would look like. What are the things that are worth sacrificing for? What are the things that will drive you to have? What do you want your life to feel like? And sometimes that can only be really communicated in images. I think vision boards need to really be about really powerful images that you could just look at them and bam, they tell a story to you. They remind you. So I picked out some very key images that really speak to me and lots of powerful words and stuff so that I could build something to look at to really motivate me. And I wanted to focus on some key areas of my life that I really want to make a bigger part of my life in 2018. And so that is, and it is okay, you guys. I want to convey something, because one of the things that I had mentioned earlier is that I'm going to be doing an online workshop called Reset Your Goals. I am deliberately not rushing it out there so that everyone has it by January 1, because I really, as a leader in my community, I really want us to try to get over this attachment to January 1. It's like a starter gun goes off and we all have to like hit the ground running. Because what inevitably happens as soon as we start failing, as soon as we start having disappointments, it's like, I'm done. And I just think that's such a terrible, I don't know how, and I know I'm not alone. I don't know how we get in that mindset that there's this magic about January, everything has to be ready to go. What January is and should be for us is that's our prep time. January shouldn't feel like this urgency. I really want it to really get us to a place where January is about simmering. It's about, think about it. January is a time where Mother Nature has gone to sleep. It's like hibernation time. Imagine what you'd be like in hibernation mode. It's a time for you to really be reflective. Now, think back over the 2017. December is a crazy time. That's not a time for you to be really doing thoughtful planning. It's really hard to do that. So going forward into January, this is a great time to kind of hunker down, have your notebooks out, make yourself some lists, get out, get your craft supplies and thoughtfully put together a vision board. Thoughtfully put together some, what your plan is going to be. And I'm telling you, I've been very thoughtful and thorough thinking out the Reset Your Goals, kind of like, it's really going to be like a little master class, if you will. And I am bringing some really good stuff to it that I am excited about. I have really started thinking differently about goal setting. And I'm not bragging, I'm just being honest. I have achieved some amazing things in my life. For starting out my life as a teenage single mom on welfare, I have achieved an amazing just flip in my life where things I've gotten to do, things I've achieved because I worked really hard. But it's not just the working hard, it was making the certain decisions I made too. There are things now that I just can't believe where I've gotten in my life, where I've exceeded all of my expectations. And part of it was because I was obedient. When God asked me to step forward and do certain things, I said yes. And that was like a catapult, you know, in my life, into putting me into a different world. But now that I'm here, now it's like, wow, imagine how much further I could go the more thoughtful I am about the decisions I make and the things that I'm doing. And my heart is not to keep that a secret and keep that to myself. My heart and has always been to share that with you. God has blessed me with this platform and blessed me with this community. And honestly, that's all I really want to do. When I grow up, I just want to encourage people. So here we are. So that's what this, you know, everything I do, whether we're just kind of crafting in the Late Night Crafty Club, I just can't do things that are just like, let's just craft. I'm a person that needs meaning. I need some meat, you know, in what I want to share with you. And so I want to assure you that Reset Your Goals is right around the corner, but I really just want you guys to kind of consider just taking a step back. We're planner girls and we get pretty anxious about January. I do. I can feel it. But I am really going to make myself just kind of go, you know what? I need to slow up my roll and I need to make some thoughtful decisions, and I want to gather all my resources. And when I have everything all laid out, I'm going to have this great workshop for you guys so that you can see what I'm talking about. There's not this, you know, we don't have to go racing out the door to go get our goals accomplished, because quite honestly, most of us will be done and quit by March. I mean, how many of us figure out a way to get all the way through the end of the year? And so there are some little things I've learned already. Like, one thing I could share with you is I'm going to be quarterly planning. I'm not going to think about my entire year. I'm going to focus on each quarter at a time. So my winter quarter is January, February, and March. I just want to have focus on the first 3 months and get as much meaning out of that and put as much thoughtfulness into that and just really make the most of that. We get kind of a little crazy when we make so many goals and so many things we want to do. And I hate that we have that tendency of quitting on ourselves. So I want to make a change. You know, we can't keep doing the same thing and expect different results, correct? That's a famous quote. So I want us to really turn that around, and that's what I'm going to be preaching in my community, is there's nothing magical about January, and that's an excellent time for us to just kind of like lay low, simmer down, and just start kind of gathering up what is really meaningful to me. And in our community, you know, when we're in Facebook groups, you do tend to get kind of anxious when you look at what other people are doing. And I just ask you to stop a moment and not allow yourself to go down that road where it's like, I don't have my stuff, I don't have that. This is the time for you to do it. This is the time. Like, slow and steady wins the race, right? There's a reason why they say that. Let's not be jackrabbits. Let's be those slow little tortoises moseying their way, okay? Let's be slow and steady and get it done. And we're going to get it done together, because the TRG membership that Mr. Crafty and I, this is going to be the new thing, the new world of the Reset Girl. Is going to be an immersive group, a membership that you're part of or can be part of, that you are going to be given accountability with your goals. You're going to be given support. There is going to be community for that, and that we're going to do things together as a group. And I think sometimes that's kind of that in itself has a lot of power to help some of us. We really respond well to that. So that's what's going down. And you're going to see that I've picked things to put on my vision board that support those goals that are mine. Those are initiatives that I have that I want to share with you. So I'm very, very, very goal-oriented person, but I'm beginning to see that maybe I haven't really approached goal setting the right way, or I haven't thought about it in certain ways. And I've been gathering some excellent resources for you. Excellent stuff. So just know that's coming around the corner. If you have not signed up for the weekly Reset newsletter, you can go to the newsletters page right here on my website. And this is something right here. Go to newsletters, and it's right here, the weekly Reset. I encourage you guys to sign up for that. It is my favorite thing to do right now is, you know, create my little newsletter. I send it out every Sunday, and it has kind of like a message for the week, something that I really feel could help you in whether it's goals, or this week I talked about single tasking versus multitasking. Single tasking is going to be my new mantra for 2018. And if you are one of the ladies that chose focus as your word for the year, I highly encourage you to look up everything there is about single tasking, because single tasking is going to be your way of succeeding with the word focus. I've personally failed with it. I don't know anyone who has succeeded with it, but I wish you well. And I really believe that if you make single tasking part of your daily life and the way that you approach things, that focus will become a success story for you. And I want that for somebody because I don't know anyone it's worked for. So some of you that picked it, that would be a great place to start. The weekly reset goes out tomorrow, so this is your chance to get on the newsletter list. And it's my way of giving you lots of resources. I pack it full of little links that just take a moment or two to look at. I link to interesting articles. I love gathering. I'm a curator, and I'm always researching something. There's just some topics that are so fascinating to me. So it's my way of sharing little tidbits and things I think would be helpful to you, to help you like in your week. You know, single tasking has been like an amazing epiphany for me personally. For those of you who, I think there's about 1,000 people on the newsletter list. How many of you that saw it was like, wow, single tasking? Didn't know about it, but it's amazing. Because there, Andrea, you have single tasking was the only way I made it through my busy season at work. Sometimes we think we like have to touch a little bit of everything to keep those little rocks going up the hill. Whereas single tasking is like, no, you just push everything aside on you, focus on that one project, that one thing. Don't go answering email and letting distractions come in. Focus, hone in, do this one thing in excellence, and then move on to the next thing. Our brains were not wired for multitasking. We try to tell ourselves they were. Someone lied to us along the way and made us, especially women, think that we can be successful multitasking. And the truth is, that's not even how our brains are wired. And the more you do that, the more it affects things like your memory. I've developed the worst memory, and I think it's not just because I'm getting older. I think part of it is because there's just so much input sometimes. So single tasking is really, it goes hand in hand with simplicity. If that was, you know, something you asked, that you said that's going to be my word for the year, single tasking is another thing that you could be just really walking hand in hand with. I can't recommend it enough. So, okay, exactly. Damaris just mentioned that, you know, leaving on Outlook. I leave on Outlook too. How many of us have our email open, and then as soon as ding, a little email comes in, a little indicator comes in, you immediately go look at it. It's like a little, it's like the little rat going through a maze, and it's rewarded for, you know, making a little ding and it gets food. It's kind of like that. Somehow we've been conditioned to like hit that little button to open up the email or the notification or whatever it is. And smartphones are the worst for that. So it's just something to consider. Focusing on, you know, single tasking is being something that could really, truly help you going forward this year. All right, I think I am done with my chatty chat. I'm going to move my keyboard out of the way because I have a big piece of poster board going down on my desk. And when I went back and looked at the video that I made for last year, I was like, wow, I was so eloquent and so like I made so many good points, and I realized I don't think I even would have remembered to say any of that stuff again. So if you really want a good reason for doing a vision board, or you have not ever made one before and you're not sure like what am I doing with it, what's it for, please go back and watch it's episode number 4. It's the 4th late night crafty club I ever did, and it's in my playlist on the Late Night Crafty Club on my YouTube channel, and you will see my little impassionate little speech that I share with you. And I share with you other formats of doing it, not just on a piece of poster board, but you can do it like in a planner or notebook. And I actually have all of this this great stuff I'm going to be sharing all of that with you. The Craft Your Vision workshop that I've only taught in person, that's going to be part of the Reset Your Goals masterclass. I'm actually going to show you how to build all this fun vision stuff in a notebook or planner so that it can help encourage you, because there's nothing like visuals that can be very exciting. So whether you want to use, I use a large disc bound book. You can use a binder. You can use your planner. A plain old notebook. You could just use a spiral notebook. If you go sign up for the Late Night Crafty Club newsletter now, the first email you'll get is an email that says, welcome to the club, and here's your swag. So it's like free printables that celebrates the Late Night Crafty Club. And then about an hour later, you'll get the printables that I put together for this show. So if you hadn't seen that post and you weren't already signed up, you can still get it. You just might not get it right away. So, okay, so I'm going to switch to my little down, there we go. Okay. Okay, so I have, this is definitely not like having my big roomy craft office like before. And Miss Natty Scrappy asks, does anyone carry a mini vision board in their planner? And I actually do. After I'm done showing you building a large one, you can actually take a photo of it and resize it down, print it out, and put it right in your planner. That's what I did with, if you sign up for the newsletter, I just recommended the Late Night Crafty Club. The newsletter that goes out that has the printables in it even has a picture of my planner that shows it all shrunk down. It's a much easier way than building a whole other little vision board. Okay, so let me just show you real quick all my goodies so you can see how I got here. And let me check my camera. Woohoo! Okay, there we go. Now I'm not so crowded in here. Okay, so when you, what did I do? Okay, when you read my directions on how I tell you how to put together your images, the vision board prep, you're going to end up with stuff like this. This is basically how I tell you to do it, is you are picking pictures and then just putting them on your page and printing them out. These I ended up reprinting because these were a little bit too large for me. But I wanted to show you, this is my style of doing things. So I usually pick out like 3 fonts that I really, really love. And then this year, these are what the fonts were.
So keep in mind they can still see you, so don't do the Seinfeld scratch thing.
Okay, I don't know what that is, but all right.
It wasn't a pick. It wasn't a pick.
Okay, so here's the doc. This font right here is my pick for this year, and then I have this one here and this one. So I always like having like kind of a what do you call that? Like a like a lettering. Thank you. And then I have this kind of like sketchy one, and then another one that looks kind of like hand drawn. So these are my 3 fonts that I went with this year. And I just found pictures off my Pinterest boards or did searches for like my word of the year. And then I found all kinds of pictures, and I made kind of like in my head I wrote out a little list of what I really wanted to focus on, and then found appropriate pictures. So I wanted to find like a book stack because I want to read more. This is my book stack right here is my Kindle. I seriously, Angela, only you would have caught Mark's comment about the Seinfeld scratch. So right here we have the book two book stacks I have here. This is the Bible that I read every day. It's my daily Bible, so I want to get a picture of that and make sure that that's on there. It's something that I'm going to do every day. So once I had them all printed out like this, then I grabbed my scissors and started cutting. So I have my pictures kind of like in categories. So the first category is a creative one. And I'm not going to lie, a couple of these pictures are from last year's vision board because I love them so much. I wanted them on this year's vision board. So this is kind of one of those pictures that I love. I wish I knew who made this. This is someone's work that they posted on their blog and it made it onto Pinterest. But I love this little art journal page so much. So that was on my board. It's been in several of my workshops. I've included this picture. So this is kind of like my creative pictures. I replaced the pink typewriter from last year, or the blue one, with this mustard one. And I'm looking over at the chat room because I realize okay, so we have here's a little Kindle that I wanted to put on there, and then here's some words. I wanted to pick out words that I thought would be like really you know, important, powerful little words: storytelling, read, document, experiment. And then here we have my book stacks. This is a layout that Allie Edwards did that I thought was so cool. I just loved this book shelfie thing that she did here. So I wanted that on there. Creative time is another pair of words. I loved this photo of a traveler's notebook. Here's a like a collage, like an art journal kind of piece. Make. There's those girls, but smaller. A little pink camera. And then this is, again, another picture that's been on several of my vision boards. But it's a reminder to me about doing more documenting. Some of you guys are amazing at documenting. I am horrible. I buy everything to do it and then don't do it. So I want to make this part of my board, and probably the whole lower part is going to be all creative. And then I might actually end up with more pictures than I have room for. So my word for the year is bold. This is one of the sheets that we made for the print and snip shop. The word for the year collection. My word is in there, of course, because I really wanted it for myself. So I had bold, bold, bold in different ways. I made this. I was supposed to be more like a journal card, but I love this. She had to learn to be bold because I don't know how to be bold. That is like not in my personality. So it's going to be a learned behavior. How many of us picked a word this year that is a learned behavior? It's something that you don't have within yourself. It's not part of your personality per se. It's something that's kind of outside of who you've always been or are. And now you're going to have to learn to be that thing. So how many of us picked a word that's like really outside of our comfort zone? All right, Miss Claudine. She's got her little hand up. And one day, girl, I will get to your neighborhood. Trust me, I will get, if we'll be driving our little RV down your street. But I will be doing a workshop in New York City one day. It is going to happen. I think there must be like a rule that people who have RVs can't drive in the city, because I've never personally seen one, and I couldn't imagine how that would work. Me, me, me. Yay. There we go. There's everyone's little hands up. That's right. So a lot of us are definitely picking words that could be a little scary. So you have to like learn your word. Look up the definition of it. You know, create a whole world for yourself. Do like a word study. It's like dating. Think of it that way. When you pick a word that's like outside of who you are and you don't know much about it, but it inspires you, or it called you, or it seized you, like this is your word for the year. You want to like ease into your relationship, learn about it, get to know it. It's like dating. So learn to date your word, and over time evolve a relationship, because it's going to be something that you don't want to just pick because it's a trend. You're picking it because you really want it to impact your life. Like, let it really impact your life. I have another video. I have a video for that. I did another late night crafty club right after this one last year. It's probably episode number 5, how to be besties, 10 ways to be besties with your word for the year. So if you've not seen that one, I will link it below as well, if you're watching the replay. But it's another really good reminder and good way of like trying to do more with it than just saying, oh, I picked a word. You know, you want it to like be in your face all the time. Okay, so I'm going back in to my down. Okay, so for me, bold was my word, and the way bold is kind of presenting itself is the fact that I made this one. This is calling my name, being a speaker. Now the funny thing is I wouldn't pick being a speaker ever. Ever. It would be the last thing I would ever choose to be or volunteer to do. Hi again.
Hi. I'm just trying to always make things better. The sound on here is better. The Realtek definition rather than this one. The spray is showing in my hair. She sprayed my gray earlier.
Okay. All right. Where are we? Okay, I just lost my... Mark. I lost my camera.
Oh, but I can't do that because now the down camera doesn't show.
There we go.
It just won't sound as good as the other one, but that's okay.
Okay, so where was I? Okay, so I was picking this. Damaris just asked if Mr. Crafty knew all this stuff. You know, he's always been fascinated by computers and technology ever since he was a kid. Like that's his little nerd superpower. He just loves computers and stuff. But I am pretty impressed that he's figured out a lot of this on his own, or by calling tech support, or by watching a lot of YouTube videos to learn everything, whether it's been RV related or doing this, what we're doing now, learning how to do it, making sure we had the best equipment, you know, to do this with. So I apologize for all the distractions. Okay, so getting back to this, learning how to be a successful speaker. This right here is probably, this right here would probably be my greatest, like the greatest compliment I could ever be given. The greatest thing I could ever imagine. And I think that people who are like me, that are very, hi Edward, I'm so happy to see you. I think people who are wired this way, this is the paycheck. It's not the dollars. It's not the cash that comes in or any of that. It's this. It's supposed to be that you've made a connection and really truly inspired someone. So my word for the year is something I want to incorporate into my vision board. But it's bold is, for me, was knowing that I was really going to try to become more of a speaker. Now I find it funny. I definitely do, that after 20 years of singledom, that the man of my dreams that God brought into my life at last happened to have the last name Speaker. So I am literally Corey Speaker, and I think this was the first year that I decided that I am just going to accept that. I'm not going to fight it anymore. I'm going to accept it, and I'm just going to go forward with it. So here's my bold collection here. And then I put together, this is this strengthen page. This was my word for 2017, which was very good to me. Those of you who have chosen it, you've chosen wisely. So here, but that doesn't have anything to do with these pictures. Okay, so here was another part of being bold and being a speaker, is I actually chose some like outfits that I thought would be like, if I imagined myself going up on a stage or talking at a podium, what do I want to look like? So I found some really cute outfits that I thought were like kind of quirky and fun, but also polished. that I would really feel like I would feel fun wearing. So I picked things that embodied that sense of like being something I'm not, because I'm not bold and I'm not confident. So those are things I have to learn to be. And these women, they kind of they embraced that look for me, as far as like being dressed ready to go to be a speaker. So I put all these little words up that I found. I found these adorable glasses that I want to go find because I think I love the little cat eye on them. I found like some other little pictures of some girls. I loved her hair. And then these two honeys, I love, love, love. She is actually wearing a Reset Girl pattern. And so is this lady, but you can't really tell. But I loved I just loved, I don't know, I had to have a honey on my page. I didn't put one on there last year. So I thought this is the year I'm putting one on there. So this is my confident, being bold kind of like girl that I really want to be. And then here's another goal for me is I really want to focus more on my Bible study. Like every day I want to have my Bible study, my Bible reading done. And I want to like Bible journal, not in the artistic way that everyone else does, but like write up on my Bible, make lots of notes, write on the pages. And I made myself a bunch of words to go with, you know, that aspiration is get in the Word. Here's a little picture of my Bible that I use every day. My faith, sleep in peace. Tonight God is bigger than anything you will face tomorrow. Isn't that a good reminder? And here's the Bible. This is from thesoulscripts.com. She teaches this way of Bible study where you're using highlighters and pens, and it's, I don't know, I saw that and fell in love. Some of you might look at that and be horrified. But I look at it and go, I want to learn to do that. I want to understand like why she's highlighting things that she does. I just think that looks incredibly fun. And I'm much more of a nerd when it comes to Bible study. I don't want to make pictures. I want to take notes. So for those note takers out there, this right here was something I thought was like really, really cool. So Jesus, the one that has just the club. I made different types of Jesuses. And then the godly are bold as lions. So, okay. So that was another little group of pictures. So I'm just kind of showing you ideas of how I collected things in like little categories, little groups. Here's a picture of being on the road. Something I've learned now after being on the road for 6 months or so now, 7 months. We don't get out of the RV much. I thought we would be much more adventurous than we are, and we're really not. So I picked this picture because this, for those of you who live in the South Florida area, this is apparently a wall in Miami. This made me think about how many times there are like these glorious photo opportunities all across the country, and I need to get out and do them more. So I have get out and experience as my words for that. As introverted as I am, I can't always stay at home. I have to get out and do stuff, and I'm terrible at that. So another little category for me was simplifying my life further still, things that I dream about. I saw this picture. This is a tiny home on a lake. Peace and simplicity. I have a few other pictures of other tiny homes that are next to creeks or rivers or on lakes. That's my dream. And so if that picture didn't work out for spacing, I was going to use that one. So these are all a bunch of little tiny homes. A beginner's guide to frugal RV living. That's key. I would like to learn how to do that. So simplify, minimal.
I think it disconnected again.
This is really hard.
I know. I'm sorry, baby. I'm sorry. Okay, now it's... Sorry guys, I have no idea why this thing is crashing today. I think it's back up, baby.
Can you guys hear me?
They should be able to. I'll tell you if they can.
You guys, I'm so sorry.
I'm not seeing anything here yet. I'm seeing it on the phone.
Can you hear me?
No.
Hi, Tina. You have not really missed anything. It's we're having all kinds of tech issues tonight. I'm so sorry, you guys. So, somebody earlier said that you live in Miami and that's in a neighborhood that you can go to. I'm jealous. Take a picture of that wall for me. As God is my witness, though, I really want to take a picture in front of a wall like that. That is amazing. This would be a really good, fun thing to do for someone. I'm very blessed to be in this position, but like this made me think about what if I made like a bucket list of like the best places to take a picture in front of a wall. You know, like that would be so fun. And I think I'm gonna sneeze. Oh, okay, sorry. So that's why I wanted to put this on here, was I wanted to remember that. So here's another picture. Owning less is great. Wanting less is even better. Isn't that a lovely sentiment? Wanting less. Like I can tell all that stuff I gave away and all the stuff I've minimized. We sold, I'm not even exaggerating, we sold 95% of our furniture or gave it away. So that was huge. I gave away stuff I've been holding on for decades. So ever since I've done that, I have no regrets. If you are on the fence about stuff like that, you could practice by putting things out of sight, out of mind in your garage, or getting a storage space for a couple months and testing out how you feel if you need to like baby step your way into it. But I have no regrets of what I've given away. And this really means a lot to me, because the less you, like even now being in the RV, I still feel like we have too much stuff. I still feel like my closet has too much stuff in it, and it's like this big and I still don't wear everything in it. So that really has really opened my eyes to how much stuff I used to have compared to like what we have in here, and I still have too much stuff. So this is something I definitely want on there. So I have, you know, simple living, peaceful. Isn't that lovely? It just looks like a great word, peaceful. And I think some of you even picked peaceful as your word for the year. This is from thesimplescrapper.com. Simplicity is not about deprivation, but about creating space for living, right? Not, your house shouldn't be a place for storage. It should be a place for living, your living space. So I put a couple images together that were stuff I found like on Google Images that were just quotes and stuff that I wanted to have on my little board. And then that was running out of space, you guys. And then my last little category, of course, is my health category. So I found, I don't know if some of you have ever heard of Coach Tulin. She's on YouTube. She is a plus size girl who was much larger, and she's been all about like getting fit but healthy fit, and she does yoga and all kinds of exercises. She's incredibly inspiring, and I kind of like watch for like just to watch, and I sit in my chair and watch. But I'm actually going to get up and start exercising with her. But if you have not seen her yet, I recommend you giving her a try, giving her a peek on YouTube. Coach Tulin, T-U-L-I-N. Oh, I'm glad someone just said, love your channel. So glad I got to watch you live. And I am glad you're here live too. For those of you getting to watch me live first, I'm so sorry that it's been a hot mess. This is probably the worst getting a show live done we've ever done. This was on my board last year. I think this picture is bomb. So I wanted it on there again. So these words for my fitness health area is plant power, because I've really been focused on eating more plants. I've not eaten any meat in the last 6 months, I would say. Plant power, healthy, vegan, which I would say I'm vegan-ish, not completely vegan. Having more energy, health. I love this expression, journey to fit. So I wanted to have that prominently, journey, progress. Here's a couple quotes I found on Pinterest. I just cut them out. Amen and amen. And then here was some things I thought would be fun this time is I took a couple like food pictures. These are just smoothies I found. Things that were vegan dishes that looked really, doesn't that look delicious, you guys? This like healthy eating. To me, this just embodies healthy eating. I wanted something really vibrant and appetizing looking, and just to remind me that plant-based eating can be healthy and yummy and like just delicious to the eyes. Here was a whole food plant-based diet pyramid. Doesn't that look cool? It's all like real food there. That looked really cool to me, so I thought maybe I would include this. Here's a before and after picture of Coach Tulin. So I thought this was very inspiring, and I thought, I want that on my board. Here's another picture of her. I swear I'm not obsessed. She's just a really great example. And then this lady, holy moly. Claudine, she kind of reminds me of you. Like, she kind of has her face. When I saw that, I thought that reminds me of Claudine. But of course, the only picture I see of you is really tiny. But I thought, holy cow, look how limber and flexible she is. How inspiring for those of us who think that we are totally not, you know, like we can't do anything when we're so heavy or we're so whatever. Joanna. She just said I was becoming Canadian with all the apologizing, you know. So anyway, I just thought this picture was amazing and just such a great reminder. There's actually a couple women that do yoga posing and stuff. They're doing yoga and they're curvy, so they're larger women. I've noticed that on Instagram, and it kind of makes me feel like I am running out of excuses, because if she can be limber, man, isn't that amazing that you can still, like, I don't know. That's incredible to me. I don't know if maybe she was younger and she's been doing that since and she can just still do it, but I was impressed with that. And then here's another picture of Coach Tulin. She and I have a very similar body type. I'm an apple. And I like to see other apples, because apples are one of those unfortunate body shapes where you're just kind of like super solid. You don't have a defined waist or anything. So unfortunately, when you lose weight, you don't really get to appreciate or see it the way a pear-shaped woman does, because her waist gets tinier as she gets smaller, where the apple, that just doesn't happen for us. But I was really inspired by her this year, this session of grabbing my images. So I have pretty much done all the chitty chat that is necessary, and I'm going to just kind of start gluing my pages, my little pictures down. And this, you know, in essence should be the fun part. So you're kind of seeing that I have made little piles here. And so this is kind of my process, is I kind of group all of my pictures into like certain areas of the board. And that way I can see at a glance that these are all the pictures about my God time, my Bible study. These are the pictures about being confident and being a speaker and being bold. So I will definitely say, though, I have more pictures than I probably have room. So this will be interesting to see how much I can do without having to like reprint some of my pictures. Oh, my tech support's here. Okay. And my tech support is in the way of my glue. I know Rebecca says I may need more boards. And I have lots of foam core boards that I use for photography. So I'm not afraid of having to have multiple boards if I need. But I do like the idea of trying to get them all on one as much as possible. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start from the middle and make the thing that's the most important part of my message to be right dead center. And so for me, that's the bold thing. So I'm going to put these little word for the year sheets to the side. I'm going to grab this one, and I added my own little Be Bold to this. So this was just a generic, it was like a stock photo kind of thing. And then I added my my own little message. So here's my little glue sticks. I have a little bowl of them. This is the Ranger ink collage, mini collage glue stick. I use these in all of my workshop kits. This is the glue that I love to give out because I love it so much. For this kind of project, if you want to use just Elmer's glue or craft, you know, a craft glue stick, it doesn't have to be fancy. This is just my favorite, and I have tons of them because of all the workshops I've been teaching on the road. I've ordered probably at this point, I've probably ordered about 2,000 of these little tiny sticks, and I'm not even exaggerating. Okay, so Be Bold is kind of going right in the center, and I can't even tell if I'm doing that straight. It's probably crooked. Okay. I'm putting down the first one with glue. It's my anchor picture, let's put it that way. So what I would recommend is you kind of like lay everything out and kind of decide how you want it before you start gluing, but I know that's the one thing I want to have more than anything is that. So I like the idea of having one of my honeys be very prominent as part of that message. So it's kind of like building your own little puzzle. And I'm going to show you a way so that you can fill in blank spots, like this little skinny spot right here that just is bare. That's how, what I do is I tend to use my words and I'll put them on the side like that. Now this one's kind of different because that's already a set of words, but that's how I fill in gaps, is by using my little word pieces. Or washi. Either of those you could do. Okay, I think I might put that one to the side for right now. Being a TEDx speaker is probably, I would guess, of any professional speakers, is probably the epitome of feeling like you were successful, is getting to do a TED Talk. So I'm going to definitely, actually I'm not going to put that up there. So I thought that would be like a really good one to pick. Just to remind me, like, if you're going to aspire to be something, aspire to be the best at something. How could that hurt? So this is definitely like, it's like building a little puzzle. And it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't, you know, please don't start getting caught up in things being perfect and this doesn't fit. You can fill in gaps with things like, I have stickers, I have washi. So I have my little arrows that I made that I can do this, arrows from the Reset Girl shop. I have my Whimsy Banner Arrows sheet. So I have little word strip stickers. So I have things, that and washi are really great for filling in little gaps. Okay. I didn't really know much about TED Talks until I was in college again. When I graduated in 2013, and for like a couple years, almost all the professors I had would always have us watch different TED Talks. So I was like, oh, okay, there's this world that I didn't know existed that's all about doing these really cool. She definitely, okay. I'm Are you going to stand there and hold it?
I was thinking about it. It's a little difficult to see with how far back it is.
Okay, so she definitely is the epitome of bold. She is a stylist. She has a company that she just helps women be stylish. And I thought she was really cool. So these are all my girls that just looking at them, I go, yes. Let's see. You know, Vibrant really makes me think more about the fitness stuff. So I'm going to stick that over there. Okay, and then this girl in her little outfit, she's got like camo joggers on and a slouchy like flash dance shirt and then these really red accessories. I was just like, oh, that is so, like, that's cool. Now, I probably wouldn't wear heels like that. I'd probably wear flats, but I just thought that was really, she looks bold. She looks like someone who has boldness. And since I am not bold, I picked pictures of women who look bold to me. So that's just a thought for those of you putting together your board and you've picked some, you know, you've picked words that may not be easy for you to imagine. Pick pictures that make you think of it. Pick pictures of women who are that thing. So I am putting her on my board because she's incredible. Let's see here. I love this picture. Okay, I might have to move that somewhere else. I love before and after pictures. They're so wonderful. Oh, you know what I could do? Is I could put that on the side maybe. I like having my words go different directions, like, you know, sideways or... Okay. 17 meatless dinners. Doesn't that sound good, Mr. Crafty?
Yum.
My little cheater.
That's a lot healthier for you.
Okay. I hate to take this picture off because I think it is so powerful what it says. Let me see here. Energy. See right here, there wants to be a word. Okay. Put the word there, put that word there, or maybe right here. Okay, I can see that I'm gonna run out of room, so I have to be very careful. I'll leave that one there. Okay, so here's this one. I'm going to use this one. So one of the things I'm going to show you guys in the Reset Your Goals workshop is what you can do with all of these fabulous images. So these images will not get wasted even if they don't make it onto my vision board. I always print more than I need so that I have material to use it for something else, and I'm going to be able to show you guys more of that, which is what I'm looking forward to. I'm back on this side if you want to have it do the other camera. Actually, I can come up with this picture here. I forgot how I had done this last year. I had to go back and watch my video. That's why I watched it, because I was like, I don't remember how I did my vision board. And I'm glad I watched it, because I actually had done it much simpler than I was planning on doing it. So this is pretty much what I do is just treat it like a puzzle that I'm fitting stuff into. And I figured not everything would get on there, but I'm making a good attempt at getting most stuff on here. So I'm going to put creative time, and I want that that one on there for sure. I want this one on here. And I really, really, really want the mustard typewriter. I actually like that better than the book stacks, so I'll probably use those on in a different project. So one of the things you can do is when when you're gathering pictures online and putting them on your page, like the way I recommended doing it in Publisher, one of the things you can't really tell is, like, sometimes it's hard to kind of decide how big these images really are. So if you find that your images are getting bigger than you would like and you wanted to use smaller, you can always go back to that file and just resize them. I'm gonna just go ahead and have a board with bigger images. I'm not going to do that. I'm gonna use these images in my Craft Your Vision notebook that I have. So I will definitely be using these for other projects. So I'm going to leave read off because it is already on there. The Did I have a picture that said, I thought I had a word that said document. I see it now. It says right there. Okay. So I'm going to grab something off out of my Simplify pile. And then this is the part where you can start tweaking, and you can really ask yourself, do I have too much of something? Is this enough? I think I'm going to take this this off because I feel like I have it represented enough here. So that means I can kind of move things around. So maybe, there we go. to me, this picture embodies like self-care, which is an important part of your health. And I really wanted to make sure that I got that photo on there, was this one right here. It's, to me, it's part of being not just physically fit, but mentally fit. Because there's definitely been a lot of, struggle a lot of the time, you know, in general, just in life in general. Life can really be hard sometimes. And depending on the kind of person you are, it can be it can be hard to deal with. And it's just a matter of you having the right muscles to work out, you know, how hard it is at that time. So maybe this picture is going to come out. I'm so engrossed in what I'm doing, I have to keep coming back and looking. Hi, Miss Natasha in Australia. What time is it there? I keep looking back over there. One of the things that I notice when I'm doing crafting, which is why it's hard to do this on camera live, is that I get very lost in my thoughts and what I'm doing. So I'm thinking, am I even remembering to look at the board and seeing what people are doing? Okay, so I like that. And then I have the word read. Maybe I do want that. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I don't. The Kindle is so not as cool as a book stack, is it? It's like, it's just not the same thing as having a cool stack of books. Okay, aha, here it is. But I guess it's not as important now. I already have a really cool book stack there. Okay. Okay, that's it. See how fast that went? If you want to use more pictures, you definitely want to consider testing like your first page, printing it out. And you know what? Edward asked if it's supposed to be a no white space board. And no, it can be any way you want to do it. Some people just cover it, you know, no white space at all. Some people like lots of white space. I just, I don't know that I have a rhyme or reason. I like filling in the very obvious white space with some words. I think that looks kind of fun. I like putting things at different angles. So it's totally up to you. It can, however you like. People are very different. If you want it all kind of bold and messy, you can do it that way, or you can be very systematic in how you lay it out. I'm kind of like a little, I don't know. I like both things. I'm going to add, once I get it all glued down, I'm going to add some stickers and washi. So, thank you, Miss Natty Scrappy. She just complimented my board. So I'm trying to decide what's probably the best way to start gluing them down is picking my anchor pictures, the ones that have no layering. Okay, so she's probably an anchor picture, this one here in the corner. Okay. Sarah says that she loves books, that she just finished reading 45 books. Sarah, I have decided that I need to get back to doing that too. I used to be a prolific book reader. I don't read novels. I'm very much about reading personal development. I'm sure you guys are so shocked. I love reading self-help, personal development. That's just my favorite type. And I have over 600 books on my Kindle. and I really need to start reading them. I have been, the last couple years, I've been using television more. And when I say television, I really mean like Netflix or Hulu as more of my escape instead of turning to books. And I want to get back to doing that again. So I am making a commitment to a book reading plan. When we get the TRG membership up, one of the things I want to do is a quarterly book club and have a challenge in there for book reading. Because I think it's so good to do that. Edward says, thanks for bringing back the honeys. Edward, we are about to launch a new collection of honeys on the 1st, and they are going to be awesome. There's going to be multiple sheets in the pack. There's full-size honeys that are kind of like, they're really tall. So there'll be a variety of different types of honeys, and we actually did some really fun things with them. Some of them have dresses and outfits that they're wearing TRG patterns. So I thought that was so fun. And there's some that look like they were sketched. So it looks like someone kind of like illustrated them. And if I have my, here, I can even show you guys an example. I'm pulling out my Bible for a second here. See what you did, Edward? You did. I'm so like, I have to show you guys. I forgot to mention that we are coming out with the new collection of honeys. I took them away from the store for a little while, and then you guys all said, where are the honeys? The little planner honeys. That's what I named them. I actually have to look this up because I cannot remember what part of... I used to know my Bible so well, and now my memory is so bad I cannot remember where things are. Okay. I'm going through all this because I wanted to show you that we have this new collection of honeys, and they look like they're clear, and they look like that someone drew them in your, on the page. Aren't they cool? So you can kind of snip them and overlay them over like text or over a picture, and they look like they're just part of your page. So I was going to write here on this page, so I laid one down to kick it off. So that is what there's going to be 2 sheets of those girls and several sheets of other types. So there's a whole bunch of different girls coming. And Kesia, you said that you read Big Magic. You're starting to read Big Magic. That is such a bomb book. The way she describes, Elizabeth Gilbert wrote this book called Big Magic, for those who've not read it. And she describes creativity in a way I've never seen anyone describe it. It's almost like an entity that you're kind of like having a relationship with. And I totally get what she means. And one of the things that she says is, don't ever make creativity pay your bills. And now I understand what she means. Because the more I've tried to make creativity a part of my business, the more it totally eludes me. Like, it has been really a struggle this last year. Where I have not felt creative at all. And then that can be a very scary thing, because if that's the way you pay your bills and you can't come up with anything awesome, that's troubling. I've had a serious lack of creative spirit. Okay, so I'm kind of, let me see here. Maybe I should make it up here. Well, I don't want to make it... Okay, so like right here between these 2 pictures, I have this line right here. I might put like a piece of washi or something here and one there, just to kind of, I don't know, because that kind of bugs me that they're like up against each other. But you'll see what happens when I start laying it all down. Okay, so this is a... Okay. I'm kind of sitting at an angle to this, so I'm I'm probably taping, like gluing it down like wonky, and it's probably not straight. Christiana says that she is sitting here in her PJs and getting ready to finish her December memory keeping. Good girl. So I know you guys, I shared some pictures on social media with like all the stuff I bought for my December daily, and I went out taking all kinds of pictures, and then I don't know what happened. Mid-December came and I found out that my mom wouldn't be coming out to be with us, and I got so depressed that we were going to be all alone that I sort of feel like I kind of gave up on Christmas. I was just like, I don't care. This is like the worst Christmas ever. So I was kind of like, I don't know. I just sort of, it lost the magic, I guess, for me. But I took all these great pictures and we went and did fun things. So it wasn't that we didn't do anything worth documenting, because I did. It's just now I'm like, well, maybe I'll sit down and do it. I'm going to hopefully be spending some time with Miss Tracy while I'm here, and I know she is really good about doing December dailies, so hopefully she will encourage me to get my stuff out and start, like, just do one page. I just want to say that I've done one pocket page in my life. That would be a really wonderful thing to feel like I achieved. Okay. If you guys have your own little boards that you guys are working on, I don't know if some of you are working on them and some are not. And the question, tutorial, I hope I'm saying your name right, honey. The Happy Planner covers that we do are the regular standard ones. They're not the big giant ones. That's all. I don't know what all the differences are, but they're just the standard Happy Planner size, if that answers your question. And I believe that they're that's actually going to be a new insert size too that I do. I don't know if I mentioned it earlier, but I'm actually working on a new planner that's going to be printable, and that's how I'm spending some of my creative energy right now, is I've been planning a planner. I've been working on a planner for you guys that's going to kind of be in line with the Reset Your Goals workshop, and it has been so fun coming up with it, because I specifically want it to be different than what everyone else is doing. I do not want to make another planner that's like everyone else's. So I wanted to make something that's like how I wanted to incorporate what I talk about in the Reset community, which is self-care and creativity. And I wanted all of that, and like, you know, I wanted that to be represented in my planner. So that's what it's going to have, as a way of tracking those habits and having a really cool monthly spread. It has like 6 layouts just for each month that are not a calendar. It's just like things like your tracker, a layout for memory keeping, a layout for your self-care, goal setting. That's been my fun thing that I've been doing. So I'm really excited to share that with you guys when I get it all set up. It will be the planner I'm using too. And I think I'm going to do it as a letter size, and possibly, if it's possible, as a Happy Planner size. Those are the 2 sizes that I'm going to launch with. And I'm doing it myself. I'm not having anyone else work on it. I'm doing it personally. So you guys are limited to my to my graphic design skills. But I am putting honeys in it. I want to have a planner that has these amazing the black and white honeys. So the one I just shared with you guys earlier, the one that looks like it's sketched, that's the type. I have a whole bunch of them. I purchased them, and we're going to get them into the, she looks good there. I'm trying to figure out, how did I have her? I moved her so much that now I'm not sure where she was. Was she a little lower than that maybe? She has this like little glob of white space right above her head. That could possibly fit in that space. Let me try it. I was gonna make this more of like a journal card, but I think now I'm going to see if I can get it to fit that space. I know a lot of you guys are very attached to your Happy Planner. That's kind of like, I think, kind of the most popular planner in the planner community. And I know the Erin Condren girls are probably horrified that I say that, but I think in terms of just the sheer volume of numbers of Happy Planners that are sold, I kind of feel like, I don't know, I feel like they're kind of taking things by storm. But they're the ones that you can actually customize. I can't really build inserts for an Erin Condren planner, obviously. They're manufactured that way. So at least with the Happy Planner, you guys could print some of the inserts that you like, and then, you know, and you could try using them in it, incorporate it with the other things in the planner if you want to try it that way. But I am very excited. I haven't been this excited in a while about something I've been working on, but I wanted to make a really bomb planner. So if you guys want to feel better about things, I don't even have a planner set up for 2018. I'm building a planner for 2018, and I will be happy to offer that to you guys if you want to join me, and we can all be twinsies together and have the same planner. But I'm not stressing out about it, and I hope you guys don't. I don't want people to feel like they're breaking some kind of rule because they don't have, oh wait, I want her skirt to be on top of the picture. Layering can be tricky. You gotta keep in mind which pieces are getting layered on top of what. Yeah, Kimberly, I mentioned about the American Punch planner, the American Crafts Punch. I am not a fan of that punch at all, so I don't want to set people up to having to use it to be able to create an Erin Condren. There's two ways of my planner that I'm going to share with people to do it, and they can either do it the way I'm going to share, or they can do their own thing. Those are the two sizes I was going to do. And then you can either, the master notebook thing that I did where I showed how I made my own little notebook by taking apart another notebook. That's how I was going to show people. If you want to really be DIY and like make your own thing, that's one way of doing it. But I really don't want to recommend that punch because it was not user friendly to me at all. And I try to be careful about what I recommend to people, because I don't think that's something that if I struggled with it as much as I did, I would feel like I'm not sure that I could tell people, yes, this is what I recommend you buy to make this planner. One thing I did bring in this RV was I brought my cinch punch. So that's what I'm kind of like married to. I still really like it, but I realize that it is kind of, it's bigger. I do have the American Crafts punch in here too, but I attempted to try it. I tried to like it. I liked the idea of it, but then I just wasn't a fan. Okay, so that's gonna go there. And the word, oh, okay. So maybe I should move this up maybe a little bit more. Miss Tracy, yes, it is going to be a disc bound. I am a huge fan of the disc bound style planner. And I can't believe I'm saying that because that used to be my least favorite. But when I got the Martha Stewart disc bound book, finally, when she first re-released it and I finally had one, I pretty much fell in love. I have 2 of them. They're letter size. And I just really love the letter size planner. It just affords you the most, oops, I just pasted down the wrong word. It just affords you the most amount of space. And there we go. Ooh, that's good. So that is what I'm going to do, is a letter size for people who love the disc bound style planner, and then I'm going to do the happy place size, hopefully. And with that, you can make a notebook style, like have it bound. And I think that people sometimes, like, one really great resource out there are companies like FedEx or Office Depot, Kinko's. There are other companies out there that will do binding for you and printing that are cheaper even. But this will be a black and white planner so that your costs are down. I don't want, you know, that's why I was so excited to find these sketchy black and white type honeys, because then they wouldn't have to be color and you wouldn't, it wouldn't cost you an arm and a leg to get your planner done. But I'm going to get all the kinks worked out so that way when you guys are offered it, I'll have a plan to tell you, this is what I recommend you do. Oh wait, no, I did want her. I want her dress. You know, when you think about it, that's what being a speaker is. It's really being a good storyteller. I don't know that I'm a good storyteller yet, but I can't even believe I'm saying it. When I'm a speaker, when I do that thing, isn't that crazy? I am such a huge introvert. Like, the thought of having to do that just like literally makes me sick. Like, are you seriously saying that you're going to get up on a stage and that's what you want to do? But I've already done it a few times and I feel like, you know what? It meant so much to me that people were inspired or felt connected to me somehow, that why should I be afraid of that? Like, this is a gift. It is a gift to get to do that. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm just going to be brave and do something super scary. One of the stories that I have shared when I've gotten up and talked about things in front of people is I tell a story about when on my 37th birthday, I decided that I was going to do something I was terrified of doing, because then it would become this, a milestone. It would become something that I would be able to have something to compare to. So I decided that I would jump out of an airplane for my birthday, because this is why I rationalized it to myself. Because I said, Corey, if you ever have to do anything scary in life, you'll always be able to say you've done the scariest thing that you can imagine. So this can't be that scary. So that's why I jumped out of a plane, was just to be able to have something to hold up to myself as an example of, you've already done the scariest thing, something that could have killed you. I mean, in theory, getting up in front of people isn't going to possibly kill me. It's just, it could be embarrassing, but that's about it. So the payoff for doing it has been so great that now I'm thinking, you know what? It may not be the most horrible thing in the world. And God, in His grace, has been very kind to me. He has always shown up. He has never let me down. He has always, I feel like He's given me words to speak that sometimes I even forget what I've said when I walk off, or, you know, away from the microphone or something, because I will sit there and think to myself, you know, I can't even come up with like those brilliant things I may have said, because it feels like it's not even me saying it, if that makes sense. That's why I feel so confident now about going ahead and saying, I'm just going to do this. I'm going to put myself out there. I'm going to actually apply to be a speaker. I'm going to throw my application out there into the world, because that's how confident I am that he won't let me down, because it wasn't my idea. This was his idea. And I think that's kind of why the podcast has become so meaningful to me, because it's a way of speaking life into people, speaking about what it means to do these brave things you wouldn't ordinarily choose, to be able to live an extraordinary life. The plans that we have for ourselves, you know, I make this vision board and have all these great plans and stuff, and I pray over the things I put on my board. I don't just come up with it on my own and demand that this is how things turn out. Whatever I've put on here, you know, I always I leave it up to God. If it's not your plan for me, take this desire away. You know, make it be something that doesn't matter to me. I'm putting be bold on my board, not because I came up with that idea, but because he has made that clear over and over and over again to me. So I'm going with it. And I think sometimes his plans just can absolutely blow your little plans out of the water when you give him a chance and are willing to follow them, hear him, obey him. It has been an extraordinary experience, and I think that's why I'm willing to say things and do things now, because I know firsthand what I'm saying is true. He won't, when he calls you to things, he will not abandon you when you act in obedience. He stands right there with you. He gives you the ability to do things that are outside of your ability. I'm going to tell you this, guys, right now. I took an F in high school rather than get up and give a speech in front of the class my senior year. I'd never voluntarily failed at anything in my life until that moment, because the thought of getting up in front of those other kids was so horrifying to me. And then, of course, speech is a requirement of college, you know, to graduate. So I waited the very last semester and I took the accelerated class that meant that I could be done with the class in like 3 weekends. You had to go like for a full day, like, I don't know, it was like 3 or 4 weekends in a row, and then you would be done. And that's what I picked. I picked the fastest, painless way to get it over with. So that's why I find this so humorous that I married a man named Speaker, that I walk around saying, "Hi, my name is Corey Speaker." And it is now actually on my vision board as a goal for myself. And I'm laughing about it. So there you go. I would not have envisioned myself ever doing that, but here we are. Okay. So I have Jesus. This is actually kind of funny. It's a bit appropriate in a way that he's right under my fitness, my food, because, you know, being the bread of life, he is right there. He is my first. So that's how I really want to like try to really ingrain that in my brain this year, is him being first, which is why the First Love Club got its name. For all of us that want to desire that, and you can be, you know, not successful at it for sure. That's going to be the case a lot of the times, but it's certainly something that you can aspire to and want and try. So look, this is not a fast process, but it is coming together. I will say that. And I think I just kind of made a mistake with this one picture. I think I put it too low down. This glue gives you enough time to, like, I think, and that might be true of most glue sticks, gives you enough time to adjust or shift. How many of you are working on your vision board right now? I'm curious if you guys are just working on other things, or making yours. Are you still in the gathering of pictures? Did you have some pictures in advance when I first announced it? Now you're sort of working on it. Just taking a little poll. Good night, Casey, Nurse 19. Okay, got my daily Bible. I am a New King James girl, so it's been interesting trying out new translations lately. Sometimes I don't care for them as much as I would like to, but this Bible is actually quite easy to read. I think it's the Holman Christian Bible, Standard Bible version. But I usually read it with my New King James, so I can like double check certain things, because I just personally think that the New King James is just, it sounds like poetry to me. The way it's written, it has the most poetic way of saying things, and I feel like a lot of the ways I've remembered scriptures that way. But I have a faith-based product that's going to be coming out this year that is going to hopefully make scripture something that we can remember better and really kind of ingrain ourselves, because that's something I missed out on. I didn't grow up in a Christian household or have things like that around me, so it's been interesting learning how to learning ways of making that part of my life. And there's something that I came upon recently that I am so inspired by that I wanted to share that with you guys. So for those of you who are interested, that will become part of something, one of the offerings that I have. So God time is that special time of the morning. And you know, Shawnee Hendricks just said, I love that you were such a doer. You know what's really funny, Shawnee, is that last year on my vision board, I actually put the words "be a doer" because I am so not a doer. I am much, much more of a planner. I love planning all day long, but when it comes to like executing on my plans, I definitely struggle. So, but this is something I enjoy so much. This reminds me of doing stuff that you know, how many of us cut up magazines and stuff when we were in junior high? That was just stuff that we really loved, right? So I love vision boards. I just think they're so fun. I love seeing all my, you know, it's like seeing your visual plans for the year. This is what if this all came true, dude, my life would be amazing. So like that's something I really want to think about. And I did it again. I glued the wrong word down. Yikes. And this one's really glued down. See, that's what happens when you're talking and gluing at the same time. No bueno. Okay. Experiment should have been on this one, because I want to do more of that this year. I want to take a lot of the creative workshops that I've paid for and actually do them, so that I've paid for like art journaling and all kinds of stuff, and I actually want to do them. I feel like there was something here earlier and now I've taken it away. Am I just imagining things? Okay, but I definitely have a hole there. I really want a picture of this on my board. I just need to get it smaller. So maybe what I should do is pull up this word here, so it can, I'll reprint this one, and that way it can kind of go over the top of that one. So now that I have my board to this stage, now I am doing the fun thing, which is filling in stuff. And you can do that by the words that you've picked. Oh wait, I just realized that I had it right there, and that makes it feel a little too close. So I'm gonna put it up there. And can't get enough of this word, bold. Uh-oh. Okay, so okay, I just saw your Miss Violet. The problem with cutting off the reflection means that I won't see as much of the lake, but let me see if I cut part of it off, if I can noodle it in there. My laptop is in the other room. I could probably get in there. Alright, so maybe I cut some of the woods away. This house is truly the house of an introvert. It's tiny, small, it looks completely like away from civilization. Okay. Okay, I'll definitely have this. It's interrupting my little lion. Okay. That'll work. I was not keeping my eye on the clock tonight because I figured I would just do this until I was done, whatever time that meant. So it could be a 2 hour or 1 hour. I don't even know what time it is right now. I don't even have a clock or anything. Okay. Ooh, see that, you guys? I went through a whole glue stick tonight. Okay.
It's been 2 hours and 20 minutes.
Oh, wow. It's already been 2 hours and 20 minutes. This girl knows how to talk. Okay. And a lot of that time was listening to, thank you, Miss Candy and Violet. A lot of that was you guys dealing with all of the tech issues too. So it hasn't even been like a full... Okay, so now I'm bringing out the washi. So putting little pieces of washi down to give like extra little pops of color and pattern, which is something I really enjoy. I like having kind of a crafty looking vision board. I want to teach vision board workshops, like going around and teaching them. That would be so much fun. That is kind of one of my dreams, is doing vision board workshops, like a full day of it. Doesn't that sound like fun? Just hanging out with lovely people and getting all your little if you guys, someone just mentioned, I missed the name, but good night, Lisa V, that there is a, having a she shed, which is very much like a teeny tiny little house. I started a she shed Pinterest board because when I first discovered them, I was like, oh, these are amazing. So I have a she shed Pinterest board on my Pinterest, the Reset Girl Pinterest account, if you guys want to steal pictures from it and pin them to your board. But yeah, it's just fun to fantasize about having something like that to yourself, I think. See what washi can do? It just kind of like nicely fills the space, and it kind of, I don't know, depending on what kind of washi you have, It just adds a little extra something something. It makes it a little less, I don't know, boring. Not boring, because there's so much going on, so it's not boring. It's just, I don't know, it just makes things pop. Let's put it that way. I appreciate you guys being so patient despite all the little issues we've had tonight. Okay. I really love my board. And that's how you should feel about it too. Is that's what's so cool, is that you should love it. This should excite you. You should look at this and go, oh my gosh, I want this to be my life. That's the whole point of them. In one visual, like just one quick glance, this helps me make the decisions, you know, about where I'm going and things I'm doing, is that I want it to be, you know, reminding me is this is about, it's a journey getting fit. It's not like a destination. I'm not going to lose 40 pounds and suddenly everything has changed. I want that to be a permanent situation because I've made a lot of changes in the meantime. I want to make, you know, my God time a really big, important part of my life. This message is from him. So it's right in front and center. It's like, this is the whole thing about 2018 is about being bold. And that might mean doing things I've never done or making decisions that are scary. But that's what I guess I'm gearing up to do, is doing things that are scary, because bold people do things that are scary. And I have kept, well, the first board that I had made when Mr. Crafty and I first got married, I don't know, we don't know what happened to that one. I think it got lost or thrown away in a move. But the one that I have from last year is in my, it's in my storage. I refuse to get rid of them. From here on out, I am holding on to them. One thing though that you can do, like I mentioned earlier, is take a photo of it, and then you can take your picture, size it down to an A5 size picture, and then you can print it out and use it, put it in your planner, punch the page and put it in your planner. That's what I did with mine, so I still have it with me. It's just a smaller version. So I have this like skinny washi here. So this could be like fun, just, ooh, where's my stickers? This is fun, just the embellishing part is just the adding on and the little arrows and the fun things, like, you know, I'm going to add a little pop of color. She had to learn to be bold. Okay, I want to make my arrow the other direction. So if I want it to go that way, I think this is an older sheet because we've fixed this sheet since then so that I have arrows that go the other way too. So here's Be Bold with a little arrow on it. And that's why I made this sheet, because it says things like, I can do this, I can do that. I can achieve this. That's what I'm doing here. I can achieve this. And then my favorite little pin tacks, which is like what I was using in my planner as like, this is a reminder to me. I'm gonna put a couple of those here. Want to inspire people. Last year I had a lot more quotes. This year, not so much. So I think I'm going to go back and resize a couple little pictures. Like there's a spot here. I think that's enough space to put a little photo. I love that I have a honey on my board this year. That's super cool. I'm going to put a little green arrow and a word strip. And it says, these are one of my little faith word strips, and it says, she is loved. And this girl down here, dude, she is fierce, bold. I'm gonna give her a little red arrow. This girl right here, she's one of my favorite. I have like a whole bunch of pictures of her on my Pinterest board. She's a fashion blogger. I love her style. There's just women I like looking at, like just love their style, but you think, you know, I could never pull that off. But I'm thinking to myself now, like, why is that? Why do I think that? You know, I could totally pull it off. It's just putting on clothes. I can do that. So here's my fun little layering circles that I love, love, love. I think I'll use that to help kind of fill in this space right here with a one right here. One right there. They do not have to make sense at all. They can just be there because they're there. She's fun. She totally needs lots of fun, bright, happy things around her, I think. Okay, let's see what else I have in here. I have little ampersands. I have little clear whimsy arrows. I have washi bits. This is a bunch of like little sticker sheets that I had and I just taped them together. Or stapled them together, I think. So I'm putting a... Oh my gosh, this is so fun. I love using the ampersands and the layering circles are some of my favorite stickers. These are from the Adored collection. When it was just like a sticker. I can't tell you how many of these little sheets I come across all the time. See, this is the pattern from her dress, is the same pattern from Adored. Isn't that so cool? Okay, so I'm pulling off little ampersand stickers and just finding fun little places to add things because it's fun. So you guys are getting the gist. I'm gonna hang this up somewhere in my house. I know where I'm in an RV. I really want to see if I can attach it to this little window shade that pulls up and down. I don't know though. It might not do it because of the glue. Maybe I'll just attach it to it when it's pulled down at night so I can look at it from my bed. That would be just as good too, right? I don't know. I'm having a really good time with the stickers. Aren't stickers just so fun? Oh my gosh. I feel like I'm like 10 years old again when I'm playing with stickers. They're just so fun. I'm just going to put them all over my little board. They're so delicate and small that like you can't even really tell that they're there too. So they're not even obnoxious or getting in the way. Ooh. Okay. They're just having fun. Oh, Angela says put it on the ceiling. Good night, Miss Damaris. I know you East Coast girls. Let's see. I'm not technically on the East Coast. I don't know if you guys knew this, but Middle Tennessee is one time zone and Eastern Tennessee is another. So I am technically in the Central time zone this time, but I kept it Eastern because I felt like that's kind of the sweet spot for this group I have found. So I can do this. All right, so I'm gonna let you come, 'em. come down even though I can't really see it. Let me see. There we go. So I just want to show you the sticker, the use of my stickers. So I added this little sticker here that says I can do this, and this one says so adored, and it's my little, so you can see now she is loved. And I've got my little stickers just kind of dotting the area. I don't know, to me it just makes it feel more joyful, I guess. I'm gonna keep adding washi. Sometimes pictures you pick, like I notice with health pictures, a lot of times when you look for them, they tend to be really dark. Like the backgrounds and stuff that they use are really dark. Whereas pictures that are talking about creativity tend to have light backgrounds and stuff. It's just kind of interesting. So those are things like I think about when I'm picking my photos, is I don't want to have a really dark board. I want to have, you know, some lightness to it and fun, be playful. So I'm going in and out. Okay, someone had a good idea, so now I'm more. Celia
handheld cam too, if you want.
Celia Perkins had really good, some good advice, but I can't see what the good advice is. Okay, Celia, you gotta share that again, because I can't see what it is. And Miss Victoria just asked about bringing the ampersands back. And Mr. Crafty, did you note that we had a request for the ampersands back? We could do an ampersands bundle. Okay, what do you guys think? I feel like there's still room for improvement. And there's always room for improvement with washi. Put your board under a sheet of glass or plexi on your desk. Aha! That's what you were saying. You know what? If I had thought of that first, I totally would have made the board differently. Because that's actually a really great idea. I might have to redo my board now. All right. So where there's pictures that have like the seams are butting up against each other, I tend to like the idea of putting a piece of washi there. So, and that's me. That's like something I enjoy doing. I just think it looks more fun. I don't have too many pictures though that like are butted right up against each other like that. I left a little bit of space in between. So I was kind of worried about this because it's been so long since I've done one of these. I was kind of worried that I would not know how to do it, or I would not be able to okay. And I did finish it. I'm sorry, I didn't even finish my thought. I got so lost in what I was doing that I stopped talking in the middle of my sentence. That's introvert behavior right there. It's very easy. Introverts spend so much time in their heads that they forget that they have an audience. Okay. You know what is funny, and I would love, okay, here's a funny thing, embarrassing thing that I'll share, but I would love to hear how many other introverts did this too. So as a child, because I played by myself so much, I had a lot of make-believe games, and one activity I used to do a lot was I used to do commercials in the sink, like in the bathroom. In the sink, I'd put concoctions together and do little advertisements for shaving cream, or like I would sing into my hairbrush and perform all the time, but I was always kind of like, I was always performing alone, but I used to do like little explanations of what I was doing before that was like a big thing, I guess. But I would love to know, I always kind of chalk that up to being an introvert and just being a kid with a lot of imagination. But I would love to know how many of you guys used to do that as kids too. Because a lot of times the stuff that I do now, like when I do videos, I feel like I'm that little kid again, and I'm like, so I'm doing this and I'm doing this, and It's very much reminds me of that. So some of you guys are mentioning about what you would do with your board afterwards. This poster board that I bought here, it's like really super thin. I think this one came from Dollar General. I was so shocked that Dollar General had poster board, but they did. We were looking for foam core poster board. So it's pretty thin. So you could totally frame this. You could get like a one of those poster frames that are often on sale at like Michael's or to be honest with you, I wouldn't even recommend Michael's because I kind of feel like their frames are not very good quality. I've had good luck with frames and they're really inexpensive from IKEA, and you could frame this if you have a IKEA around. Thank you, Miss Julie. And yes, Marilyn says that she did that. So thank you for validating me. See, and Miss Bubba Letter says that she'd talk outside. And so, yes. There you go. Michelle admitted it too. She does it. I totally pretend I have a YouTube camera on me sometimes, like practicing what I would say when I'm cooking. Doing something silly. When I'm putting makeup on. Because I used to watch YouTube beauty videos all the time. That used to be what I did before planners. So that one is really funny to me. When I do my makeup in the morning, I'll sit here and pretend there's a camera on me. I always kind of chalk it up to like it's just good practice, you know, to hear yourself and how you sound, how you say things, and just trying to be comfortable. Because I feel like at first it was really hard to talk on camera, and now I have less trouble with that. But maybe God was preparing me for speaking all along, and I just didn't know it because I was such a, like, I liked to perform in the privacy of my in the privacy of my room. Okay, I'm trying to capture. Okay. Oh, good night, Miss Andrea. Mwah, mwah, mwah. And Happy New Year to you. Can you guys believe that it's going to be a new year and just tomorrow night? Tomorrow night at this time, we will be looking at our new year. So, you know, for those of you who are staying in tomorrow night, you could work on your vision board and get that together. You know, I'm super happy that I have one now to kind of focus on. I'm going to take a picture, and then I'm going to print all these pictures I did tonight. I'm going to print these all out again, but smaller, and then I'm going to put them in my notebook. So, and then I'm going to make like a whole section for each of these categories. So one for about having like simple living, one for about having my journey to fitness, being bold, having a whole section for having like confidence and what, you know, what I will feel like or look like in my new world. And that kind of stuff is when I'm having a hard day, when I'm, you know, struggling making decisions in my business or life. That's kind of the thing that I always kind of draws me back. This is what I was trying to build. This is the life that I'm trying to head towards. So it kind of becomes, you know, kind of accountability, if you will. So that's kind of the fun thing about using digital images, is that you can reproduce them in different sizes and stuff. And if there's things that you love about your board, you can recreate that in a smaller little format in your little pages and stuff as well. So it is really hard. In 8 hours, East Coast Australia, it will be the new year. Wow. That is, I always forget, like, you guys are almost like in a brand new day because it's so so far, you're so close to the date line. Okay, so Miss Cheryl Anderson asked, what did I say I was going to do with the different topics? I am going to recreate all of these topics in my notebook. I have a sectioned kind of notebook. I'm going to show you guys the full-on setup of that and how I recreate all of this and why and what I do with it and how it helps me. And that's going to be part of the Reset Your Goals online workshop. which I highly recommend. It's going to be, I know I've personally been really paying attention to everyone else's, you know, goal setting sheets and workbooks and their webinars. I've been signing up for things just to see, well, what did people say? And I feel like a lot of the stuff that I want to talk about is not what other people talk about. Because what I want to help you guys focus on is helping you build the foundation for your goal setting, for your goal achievement. Sometimes the foundation is the most important thing, and stuff like this is part of that foundation. It's part of how, like, you make, you know, it's what helps strengthen you and motivate you, because we can all agree that one of the things that is really hard is to stay motivated. So I am going to be working on that and show you guys in my workshop, because it's more than just, you know, recreating it. There's stuff that I like to do with it, and I'm going to be making a workbook for you guys that will have prompts and will help you month over month continue to make this be something that you are walking and living and achieving, and that you continue to build upon it. So and help keep that mindful for you, and make you little tools that you can keep and take to work or with you into your life, so that that will also help keep you focused. So Miss Tracy, you and your little, she just shared a little story about singing in to the vacuum as a child, but you are a huge extrovert, so that would make a little sense. Okay, so Miss Kelly, you are asking about the brush lettering font. I am going to guess, I'm guessing, but I bought a font, and I want to say it was called Hello Sunshine, and it was a family of fonts. So there was like hand printing, and then this lettering. So I believe this font is part of that. It's called Hello Sunshine. So if you look that up, and I want to say it would have come from it probably came from Creative Market, but I'm sure if you were to type in Hello Sunshine font into Google, it would probably take you wherever it lives. So that is where I'm fairly sure, but I'm guessing. So Sapphire Fairy, I had a WKRP in Cincinnati DJ set when I was 6 years old. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. Me and Tracy have been talking about, we were talking about how much we love Yacht Rock. Yacht Rock is an actual station that you can listen to on, is it Sirius? And when the WKRP song came on, we were driving down the highway, I actually could remember words to that song. We were actually singing along. That was just really funny how many songs like just come up from your childhood, and you can sing them without even realizing you know them, because they were so ingrained into like the background, the soundtrack of your life. So Miss Celia says that she is so excited for my Reset Your Goals workshop. Yay! That's what I want to hear. I am working really hard to bring something new to you guys, something that you guys don't hear. Something that's fresh, something that comes from me. And because that's so important to me, I really hope that you guys will be interested and want to sign up, because it's definitely geared towards knowing how hard it is, to stay motivated. And we're going to be building a foundation and creating all kinds of tools that you can use for more longevity to help keep you there. Because, everyone handles goal setting differently. Goal setting and goal achieving, they're different. And there's things about the process of it that some people don't even think about or haven't learned properly. And sometimes if you don't have enough wins under your belt, if you haven't set enough goals in your life that you actually achieved, there's probably something that you could learn about the whole, act of picking the right goals. I want to help you guys get some wins on the board. I want to help you break down things so that you can get some fast action goals, like easy things to say, hey, I achieved that. So that's my goal, is to help that's really how you stay motivated for a lot of things. When you think about if you've ever lost weight before, when you start seeing progress, that's where the motivation comes in. It's like, I'm seeing progress. Progress is a very powerful thing. So that's what I want to kind of help do, is demystify and kind of help create that framework and the foundation to keep that going. So good night, Miss Amy. I'm sorry to saw that now. And thank you, Miss Victoria. And I'm glad that you guys are excited about that, because that's the kind of stuff that I am really motivated to bring to the Reset community, is more of that. I love personal development, self-improvement, all of that stuff. And to me, that can come in small ways. It doesn't mean that you're working on changing who you are. It means essentially just being the best version of yourself that you can be. And it can come in small ways, like the act of just adding self-care into your life, becoming a better planner. How many of us would love to be a better planner girl? I fail at planning in a million different ways, but over time I've kind of realized, well, why? Why do I fail at planning? There's certain things that I need to kind of get into place in order to make that part of a habit. So habits and routines are, like the little building blocks of planning. So those are all fabulous little things that I, want to talk about in the community, and kind of reminding us and being more than just, I don't want to be another source of like, buy your stickers there. The Reset Girl, is really, my mission is to really want to, help you and come alongside of you to help you reset your life. So this has been super fun. I actually got it done. We have not had any tech issues for the last hour. That's been nice. And so yes, and I will say that looking through magazines late at night or looking through Pinterest late at night, yes, you can end up seeing a lot of delicious photos. A lot of pictures that are yummy. So let me go ahead, and before I sign off, I'm going to change my camera angle so that I can be looking at you. See you guys in your little eyeballs. I can't get the... There we go. Okay. Yay, there I am. Yes. Oh, okay. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Well, thank you guys. Thank you for spending your evening with me. I appreciate you being here. I'm glad that you decided to stay, and so many of you stayed till the end. I'm sure I had a lot more people in the beginning, and they're like, tech issues, I'm out. So, but that's fine. So anyway, I just want you guys to know that I have big plans, coming up, and I know not all of you are going to love some of the things that we're going to end up doing with the Reset Girl and the shop and everything. But I just want you to know from my heart that the changes I make have to make the most sense for us in this new life that we're in. Things have dramatically changed from where we were at when we had employees and we had like a big space, and things have changed. And the truth is I've really had a lot of heart-to-hearts with myself, and I really want to do the thing I'm being called to do. And that might mean that we offer less fun stuff, but then what, like stuff, but what I offer you is completely different. It's like workbooks and ebooks and Camp Reset experiences and a membership where you are like getting materials and content every single month to help you, to inspire you, to keep you motivated, to give you things to play with. I want to give you stuff that's creative too. So that's kind of like, I just want to forewarn you the thing that's really in my heart that I'm really beginning to see bigger and bigger and bigger, that's really the direction I want to go, because that's really what I've wanted to do all along. And what we offer, I was really surprised when I did the poll in the Happy Place Club, how many of you were like, I want to see more in the digital store. That was kind of eye-opening. I wouldn't have expected that. And a lot of you were really interested in online workshops. And so I really you know, I took that feedback and I was just like, wow, note to self, you know, that's really good to know, because otherwise I'm just creating stuff that you guys don't even want. That's not what you were interested in. And quite frankly, I would love to be able to put together an even better and bigger camp reset type experience. I want to give that type of quality and thoughtfulness, and give you prompts and give you activities that are fun to do, and you know, that kind of camaraderie. And that's what the membership and the master classes I want to offer are like. That's what I envision. So we did Camp Reset as a free experience because I wanted to give you that gift, and that you had a sense of like, this is what I want to bring. So I want to do something even bigger and better. So that is what will be coming in 2018. And I am super excited. And hi, Miss Julie. Yes, I am still here. Well, thank you, Miss Linda. I thank you. And I wish you guys a happy new year. And it's going to be a happy new year. I know a lot of us had kind of a crummy 2017. Some of us had a great 2017. So I always am very hopeful that starting off, we're all very hopeful that we're facing a great year and we're not going to have as many challenges or things that happen. But the tools that I want to give you guys are to help you through those the rough things, to help remind you, but I still have goals to achieve. I still have aspirations. I still want to, reset my life. And that's what I want to make a stronger and richer community for that, so that you really do feel supported and you really do feel like you're part of something that's helping you. Some of us, live more isolated lives. Some of us are in different stages of our lives where we don't have as much family support. Some of our kids are up and out. Some of us are facing being single freshly, or just had big life changes. I know a lot of my group is actually married, but I would like to, kind of broaden my message. I come from a place of singledom. I've spent the majority of my life as a single mother. So I'd love to be able to spread my message to single mothers, hey, there's support and fun and happiness here. So we're going to be looking for ways to really grow our community. So if you happen to know those type of women and you think that, you have people in your life that would be interested and need that kind of encouragement, I would highly recommend that you say, hey, join this fun community that I'm part of, because it's really going to be, it's going to be a great new year for the Reset community altogether. So I love your little faces. I'm so touched that so many of you guys hung out to the end, and that you guys showed up and you were excited for the Late Night Crafty Club. And I just really, really, really appreciate how seeing all the same little faces, that I get to see in the Happy Place Club. It just you guys have no idea. So thank you so much for being here and being part of my life, letting me speak into your life, letting me, have an opportunity to encourage you. I appreciate that. So I will be, let's see, just trying to think and make sure that I have hit everything. I would really encourage you guys, if you have not taken the time to just hit theresetgirl.com and check out all of the resources that I have offered. Check out our new store that we have put in Word for the Year printables, that we have the Productive Girl kit, the Happy Place Club kit. Well, actually it's called the Happy Girl kit, the Faithful Girl kit. Those are all things that were made for each of my communities so that you guys would be able to participate in the challenges. The podcast will be premiering on January 3rd, which is next Wednesday, or this Wednesday. And I will be sending out a big mass newsletter to kind of just give you a blow by blow of like, this is what I offer, this is what's happening, this is what's changing, and this is what's going to happen in 2018. So that you guys have a sense of like, I know what's going on. So that's going to go out to my entire email list of like 21,000 people. So if you get it, please take a moment to read it, because that will kind of fill you in on what's happening and what to expect next, because we have our first mega kit will be coming out for winter, and the Reset Your Goals masterclass will be coming out for the winter. And that's, like I said before, winter is like the first set of like my goals that I'm achieving and focusing on. So mwah, 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 mwah. So thank you guys so much for being here and gutting it out through the crummy technical issues. And then I wish I could say that we will overcome them and won't face them again, but we know better than that. So happy New Year, you guys. Happy New Year. I truly will be wishing that for you. And Mr. Crafty and I are praying over our community, over your lives, and that you have a wonderful, that we all have a wonderful and better year ahead of us. So thank you so much. Mwah, 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 mwah. And I will be seeing you guys soon. I will be scheduling. I'm kind of on the fence about January and where we're going to be here. So I won't probably put another Late Night Crafty Club on the schedule right away. So possibly in that big email I mentioned, I'll let you know what's going on with that. And good night, Edward. Thank you so much for joining us again. I'm really glad that you showed up. And ladies, thank you for being here. Mwah, 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 mwah. Look at all your little faces.
You got 3 minutes till your 3 hours. Are you going to wimp out now?
Oh man, 3 hours. 3 hours. So I hope that you guys have had a good time. And Brenda and Angela, I think you're still there. Thank you for hanging out with me, because I know it's late where you are. And my international girls, thank you so much for getting up early or staying up late for me. I appreciate that so much. My Australian girls, Happy New Year. You guys are almost there. You guys are going to watch your ball drop very shortly. So you guys all have a safe New Year. I'm sure most of us will be staying in. I know we will be. But anything else?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. Oh, I have one little tip. Okay. This is kind of funny. I have been obsessively watching on Hulu, The Goldbergs. If my Gen X girls, and I know there's a lot of you in this group, if you want to relive your childhood, straight up relive your childhood, The Goldbergs on Hulu, you can sit there and binge watch all the seasons. It is a really hilarious.
It's fantastic. It's a cross between
so
Malcolm in the Middle
funny.
and Wonder Years.
Exactly. Did you hear that? He said it's a cross between Wonder Years and Malcolm in the Middle. And so if some of you guys have watched it, you can agree with me right now. It's an awesome show, super funny, but you can relive the 80s all over again. So that's probably what I'll be doing tomorrow night. So anyway, that was my little tip. But I love you guys, and thank you so much for being here. And look at that. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Angela says, my favorite show. See, Angela, once again, girl. So anyway, love you guys. And love the 80s. Me too. Now I look back and go, wow, that was a good time. But at the time, you were like thinking, oh, I wish I would grow up and out. Good night. See, look all of the thank you, Mr. Crafties, you're getting.
I know. They're too kind. If they only knew.
You guys are so sweet. If they only knew. You guys are awesome. So, Joanna says my family calls you my drug dealer. Well, there's worse things, I suppose, that I can be called. Well, to all of your families and all of your husbands out there, mwah, thank you so much for letting me entertain you and taking up part of your life, and all the kids that watch along with you. You guys have a wonderful, happy New Year as well. Thank you, all the husbands and boyfriends.
There we go. 11 o'clock. 3 hours.
All right.
You made
Good night. 3 hours. It was a 3-hour show. Good night, girls. Love your faces. Mwah, 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 mwah.